So I have a question for you guys today. What are your thoughts on dress codes? I know we're all getting back into the office, whether it's full-time or whether it's hybrid settings. Slowly but surely, we're going back into the office. So what exactly does that mean for dress codes? Now, if you were in the offices prior to 2019, you know that some companies, some industries had very restrictive dress codes. So today I just want to talk about the two main reasons why I think that dress codes are outdated moving forward. So let's get started. Well, first let's start with a little bit of research that I did, and I found this interesting quote. So according to a research engine, Adzona, I think I'm pronouncing that right, casual attire at work is more favorable for employees while business wear is declining. So it may be time to put away those power suits and take a more business casual approach. The one thing you always want to remember, regardless of where you work, looking your best in your image is always top tier and should be one of your priorities, because it can do so much more for you and help you with your career as you move forward. So you always want to remember that dressing well is always top tier. But what we want to do is kind of dial it back so we're not as stuffy as we used to be, so to speak, a little more relaxed. And of course, at times, this is also going to depend on the industries that we're in. Now, over the past few years, or maybe even the past few decades, the dress code has slowly but surely started to become lax. So if you're as old as I am, you would know that there was a day that started this before Casual Fridays. We might have called it Dress Down Day, Jean Day, to where eventually it evolved to Casual Fridays. And so casual wear was just for Fridays, and that stayed for a while. And for women, that did not include jeans. That included a nice pair of slacks, maybe a nice, definitely not jean jackets, a nice cardigan, something that was a step down from your professional wear, but not too far down as far as what we would consider business casual, dockers, jean jackets, things of that nature, as we see it, how the environment is today. So now in this post-pandemic era, we have to start to think about how we show up at the office differently, right? That means we might be able to not bend the rules, because I do believe there should be perimeters in place for how we dress to work, but maybe make it less restrictive, which leads me to my first point. They're restrictive. You can't show up to work and be your true, authentic self in what you want to wear if the dress code is, say, traditional or formal. Who says everyone has to wear a suit every day? I'm still trying to figure out who even came up with that, even though I get it. For some industries, if you're banking, if you're an attorney, if you're in certain forms of government, I get that. But when you're working, say for me example, I am a recruiting coordinator for a tech firm. I don't need to be in a suit every day. I don't really need to be business casual, which is a step down from your traditional professional wear or dress. What I currently have on right now, jean jacket, top, skirt, that's actually perfectly normal and fine with what I go and how I wear to work. But here's what we still always have to remember when thinking about it being restrictive. What you wear should always speak on your behalf. That means how you speak actually comes in, not how you speak, how you dress actually comes in before you. So you still have to have this great image, but you should be able to come to work in this day and age, post-COVID, as your authentic self. Now, this does not mean you get to come to work tacky. This does not mean you get to come to work as if you're rolling out of bed. This means if you are comfortable wearing a skirt, tennis shoes, and a nice shirt, that is how you should be able to come to work every day. If you feel comfortable wearing dress slacks, a nice pair of tennis shoes, and a shirt, I'm trying to be very easy, that is how you should come to work. That is how you should show up. One, because you're comfortable. Two, it reflects who you are. It gives your own personal sense of style so people can see that about you. Since everyone in this day and age wants us to be authentic, they want us to show up as who we are and as a way to get to know us, we should be able to show up as much. If you have, I remember there was a time where I couldn't have long nails. And it's probably hard to believe that my nails were probably twice as long as they are right now. And if I can find a picture, I will put it in here. My nails were twice as long. And I remember in undergrad, a couple weeks before I graduated, one of my professors said, "Hey, do you remember I told you there would come a time where you would have to do something before you graduated?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, it's that time." And I just put my head down and I said, "Okay." And I literally got up, walked down to the nail salon, had them take off the nail color that I had, which was, I can't remember if it was like blues and purple. It was something. Even my nail colors were a little outrageous, right? But because of how long my nails were, that at the time was not acceptable in corporate America. So I had to go right before I graduated and get them cut down to a nice length. Now, I can't remember, they might have been shorter than this, but even in today's age, people are now showing up with nails with a little bit longer. They're all bedazzled and bejeweled. I have come to the place to where I no longer need to be bedazzled and bejeweled on my nails, but I still like a good nail length. But yet at the same time, I think because I've outgrown it and I've evolved, I don't necessarily need that anymore. But the same thing goes for what we wear, for how our hair is, because remember, there was a time, especially for Black women, we always had to wear our hair straight. We could not necessarily wear it curly, wear protective styles, or anything that we liked. There was this form and this idea of what we had to show up for work. So most importantly, even for us, this should, with more of a laxed dress code, should allow us and must allow us to show up who we are as our best version of ourselves every day to work. And you don't necessarily have to be suited and booted to be professional. There are millions of ways that we can show up to work and being professional, but at the same time, you at times do want to keep in mind what your industry is and the environment is, and kind of figure out where you kind of fit in and how you could bring your flair and style to work. So number one, they're restrictive. Number two, the work environment has completely changed. We have gone from being in the office 5 days a week to working from home for about 2 years, to which we all got super comfortable. We were wearing everything from sweat clothes to gym clothes every day, working from home. But if you've noticed, that kind of even evolved and changed into things like elevated sportswear and loungewear, where you can buy now at different boutiques online and even in the stores, because some of us still either work from home or we do a hybrid mix of going into the office a few days a week and also going into the office a few days a week as well. So how we dress has definitely changed, and we've started to dress a little bit more casual. But here's what I'm going to tell you about this too, because I have seen this where I work. You don't want to be too casual. So what I mean is, you don't want to look like you just rolled out of bed. No. But I want you to figure out how to best show up as your best version of yourself now that the environment has changed. So that means there are a lot of women these days that have gotten rid of all of their suits, all of their dress clothes. Because guess what? They don't necessarily have to wear them anymore. So now it's sort of as if like, what is my style now that the environment for work has changed? And that's where I think a lot of us are, is trying to figure out where it has, because the work environment has changed. So we already know we don't want to be too casual, but then we don't want to go all the way back to be stuffy and in suits and all tied up and everything like that. Unless that's what you like, then perfect, fine, great. But it's time that we should be able to find a happy medium for us to show up now that the work environment has changed. So the dress codes, I believe and feel, should also change for us as well. So let me know in the comments what you think about dress codes. Are they a yay? Are they a nay? Or are you somewhere in the middle? As for me, I think that there should be perimeters around a dress code if you have to go into the office. But at the same time, we should and still have to keep in mind just for us, because we are thinking about not only our style, but we're also thinking about what are our career goals and aspirations in our careers and in life. And the most important thing is, above all else, is that we still have to put our best foot forward, as my mom always says, and we still always have to dress for success and be the best version of ourselves. But this time, we actually get to do it on our terms. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode today. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys next week in the next video. Bye, guys.